Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you had a great long weekend. It's Tuesday, September 6th. Wow, already 1 week into September. Time is flying when you're having fun. Going to get started here in about 30 seconds, so just sit tight. If anybody does have any ticker requests, make sure to put them inside of the Slack thread with the ticker and the exchange. I would appreciate it. And just sit tight. We'll get started here in about 20 seconds. All right, going to get into the market update. So we have a waterfall bloodbath going on at the moment here in crypto. And again, if you've been following my posts, this is nothing to be expected. I see people, I got a couple people messaging me, screenshots of Bitcoin saying, oops, and, didn't see this coming. And it's like, well, have you not been following my channel? But saying for about at least 10 to 15 days now that Bitcoin was targeting 18,500 with the daily bear flag. And here we are about 300 away. I did queue up a buy order for Quant. I've been waiting to add up more on this one because from the high there, we're now down about 35%. So patience is a virtue. And one thing that I'm grateful for with MJ and crypto is it's taught me a lot of patience. Actually, the first thing that taught me patience was real estate, right? Because you're not buying and selling, you're not getting in and out of positions, and you'll just hold for 5 to 7 years, and you over 100% make 100% of profit on your investment. I mean, that's obviously a 2022 thing in the everything bubble that we're in. But who would have known that a house was going to double in value in 7 years, right? Probably the first time that's ever happened in history. But if we take a look at QNT, it could be an inverse head and shoulders forming at the moment. So we could get it as low as, in my opinion, maybe $75, $80, and we'll be looking for a potential inverse head and shoulders here on the monthly, which is a reversal, a bullish reversal pattern. It's bearish when it's a regular head and shoulders, and it's bullish when it's an inverse, right? And if we take the measured move of that potential measured move, just a rough guess here, you'd be looking at a move up to around $450 if confirmed. So I really like Quant. This thing's going to be worth $1,000 someday, easily. Mark my words, you heard it here first. But yeah, it's going to be worth $1,000. Pretty much a virtual certainty in my opinion. We hit 423 as the all-time high. I think this thing could even hit 10 grand at some point per share or per Quant. But I've been doing a lot of buying. I bought a ton more algo yesterday. Or no, not algo, H-bar, but I may add to algo. I've got algo's like probably my third or fourth biggest holding in terms of my alt, so I'm not too sure on that one. I don't own any ADA at the moment, but yeah, still don't really like the fact that from March 2020 lows at 2 cents, we're still up 2,472%. So I just don't see the point here. The risk to rewards to the downside, we could easily fall 95% and still be just at March 2020 lows, right? So a lot of our names are already down 94, 95% plus on a lot of our alts, right? Like for example, I really like HNT as well, and I've been holding off. I said we had a multiple monthly inside bars here, and I said whichever way we break, we either start the monthly bounce or we continue monthly consolidation. And I was on the side of leaning that, hey, we're still up from March 2020 lows. We're still up, or we could still fall another 90%, right? So if you look at March 2020 lows, we're still up from that low there. At that time, we were up about 800%. So again, that's why I'm glad that I learned the patience long ago. And from that, I was going to enter there, but again, just from that bear break, we're now down another 50%, right? So if we take a look from the high to the low, we're now down almost 95%. So that's why I'm comfortable taking a position. Even if we drop another 50% from here, I don't care, because if you take a look from current levels, if we just go back to all-time highs, that's 16x. That's a $1,000 investment into $16,000 if we just hit the previous all-time high, right? So that's some great risk to reward. Why would I why would I go into ADA, right? If we go back to all-time highs, that's only 5x, right? So I take 16x over 5x any day and look at the downside potential, right? We could still drop another 95% on Cardano and be looking at March 2020 lows. So I have absolutely no interest, right? We do have the Vasil hard fork coming up, which I added to that. So if you guys remember, I did a post here over in the crypto channel, and then I did a video shortly thereafter. But essentially, crypto regulations expected this month in Congress. We could see stablecoin regulation, that type of thing. And we know that the executive order, with the Biden executive order, he said everybody report to him back. All these different three-letter agencies essentially go do your research, come back at mid-September, and let me know what you find. So we could see more information about that as well. Also, XLS 20 amendment on XRPL. So we should see NFTs on the XRP ledger at some point next week on the 13th. It's slated for. And then also September 13th to the 15th. I'm just going to edit that actually. It has been changed. So it's now, and it's funny how all this is lining up, right? Right whenever the altcoin, I just did another post here, alt season index is now at 96. So it's just funny how they got, I'm pretty sure the 13th of September was when the executive order was due as well. So the executive order from crypto regulations on the 13th, XRP NFTs on the decision on the XRP amendment for XLS 20, which will support NFTs. That's on the 13th now. It's scheduled the 13th to the 15th for the Ethereum merge. We're also going to have Flare Networks launching right around that same time. And then there's even September 13th is when Jeremy Hogan, the legal expert who's been following the Ripple versus SEC case, said that we could potentially see a settlement. So mid-September. So it's just hilarious how all of this is lining up. If you don't believe that all the world is this stage by now, you must be living under a rock. Also, Cardano Vasil hard fork, which I added. This is what made me think of this. But that's slated for September 22nd. Also, alt season index now at 96, so we can update that. So just all this confluence. Confluence just means the more things the more signals, the more indicators, the more signs, the more the more the stars just start to align to one certain outcome. The more we can be confident that the outcome will actually come true, because as we know, there's no guarantees. The only guarantees, there's no guarantees. But the more confluence we have, the more signals, the more signs, the more confidence that we have, the more that we can expect a particular outcome to come to fruition. BTC.D lost 39%, confirmed the monthly descending triangle. So we'll update that and confirm lost. So Bitcoin Dominus lost 39%, and let's put confirming monthly descending triangle. And we'll take a look at the dollar here. And again, a lot of people are saying, the dollar's strong, the dollar's strong. The dollar is not strong. The dollar's strong compared to the euro, right? And we know that the euro and, the pound and the yen and all that stuff, because of the geopolitical events that are going on, the recession, obviously the dollar is, the buying power of the dollar is terrible. But, in comparison to 6 other currencies, the dollar's strong, right? But we're breaking to a daily higher high here on the DXY. Breaking to a weekly higher high. We have no support now until 104. And I've been saying that. I've been targeting 112 to 114 on the DXY for a long time. We hit 110. The markets have just been absolutely insanely predictable. It's been unbelievable. I see so many people just again, because they're reading mainstream media, right? They're looking at headlines and mainstream media articles, and they're feeling emotions, feeling some type of way, and then that's when they start to make buying and selling decisions. But if you just step back, look at the charts, look at what the charts are saying, look at what multiple sectors are saying, the broader market, the crypto market, the precious metals, everything, the dollar, commodities, you get a real accurate picture. And it's just been an absolute treat just charting all of this, because it's been an absolute easy. It's been an easy game, right? It's a game that is rigged against us, but right now it's been very, very easy to tell. And I even made a post today saying SPXS now up. Where was it here? So for my call out, if you recall, August 16th, I said not too late to take an SPXS hedge position, folks. So that was 21 days ago, and now SPXS is now up about 40% from that call out. And then some people listen to me. You can see here, Claude messaged me on Facebook, said, I just want to send you a thank you for recommending the SPXS. Bought it about 10 days ago, and this was a few days ago as well. So he bought it like right around where I recommended it, right? You know, people who think they know everything. I used to be like that. I used to think I know everything and didn't need any help and was going to do it my way. Then I realized that, yeah, it didn't work out so well. And I just started listening to people who knew what they were talking about. And funny, you know, if you just get out of your own way sometimes, let ego and pride step aside and, you know, just obviously don't listen to what I'm saying. It's not financial advice, but make your own decision, right? You need to see, okay, does that make sense? Are you comfortable with it? And like he said, I didn't advise him. I didn't tell him to buy. He said I recommended it, right? And that's the difference. So I'm excited. I don't know about you guys, but I know a lot of people are on edge today. I couldn't feel any better. I'm more confident than ever in my picks, in my altcoin picks, in my MJ picks. I added a ton of MJ here today as well. And the fact that Bitcoin's seeing this bear flag confirm is great in my opinion. In the dominance, the altcoin season index at 96. Oh man, I don't know how everybody's so silent lately in the markets, and you know the Power Group community's been pretty quiet. This is the time where I spend the most attention, right? And I'm very confident over the next few months, probably going to become a multimillionaire. I was probably halfway there about 6 months ago. And yeah, I have no doubt in my mind that by the end of 2023, my net worth will be in the multi-millions of dollars. And again, that's because I just don't let emotions play into my decision making. I look at facts, and again, being super patient and selective. I'm just so grateful that I've learned the patience, you know, just with regards to being selective and keeping cash on the side, using SPXS as a hedge. Just very, very grateful for, you know, for all of that I've learned. And I mean, it didn't come easily, right? I mean, I spend 200 hours a month in researching financial markets. So if you don't want to put in 200 hours a month, well, that's kind of why I created Power Group as well, right? But on the bull and bear list, we have CODE, HNT, and Hive. See, this is when I buy stuff, when it's on, when we're heavily oversold here on the daily and weekly time frame, and when it's one of the leading decliners on the day, right? People like to buy stuff when it's going up, which makes absolutely no sense. If you want to get wrecked, right? I mean, people like to buy high, sell higher, but the amount of times that works out for most people, it's just not very often, right? We basically have no green out there today in the crypto markets. But yeah, the dollar looks like it's due for a cool down sesh here pretty soon. But like I said, Bitcoin, very close now to my daily bear flag target. And, you know, people just wonder, how come you know when we're going to go down? How come you know these targets, right? It's called technical analysis, right? People think that it's just hocus pocus, doesn't work, but again, they don't know how to use the tools. If you're the most skilled tradesman or tradeswoman in the world, if you don't know how to use the tools that are provided to you, you're not going to do very well, right? But this is all technical analysis is. It's just an extra tool in your tool belt. If you don't know how to operate said tools, obviously it's not going to work. And it's the people who don't know how to use it that, you know, that basically say that it doesn't work, right? So they just never figured it out. And just like anything, it takes 10,000 hours to become an expert at anything. And I can assure you, the average retail investor, probably 99%, if not more, do not invest any more than a couple hundred hours in their lifetime, right? So, you know, they put a couple hours in, they think they're a genius, then they lose all their money, and then they quit, right? That's just the name of the game. And the mainstream media is literally designed to make you feel a type of way, feel an emotion, and make buying and selling decisions based off of emotion. And it works. It's been working for many, many decades, right? Humans haven't changed. And that's why the algorithms win all the time, is because they don't have feelings. But SPY starting monthly consolidation, the great thing about this potential setup as well is we could see our monthly higher low and higher high. If we get back into a monthly uptrend, imagine the amount of bears that would just be, you know, astonished. They wouldn't know what the hell happened. If we get back into a monthly uptrend, I mean, it's a very good chance, right? We could easily pull back just from current levels. We could easily pull back another 7% from current levels and just be looking for a monthly higher low. And then it'll be all about the high that bounced there at 431.73. Funny how that's exactly where I shorted it. And now down almost 10%. Oil. So monthly inside bar hasn't started monthly consolidation yet, but it's been weak for the past 3 months. So oil gave us a little bit of a clue. And gold and silver breaking to monthly lower lows here as well. So monthly consolidation underway, nothing being spared at the moment. Tesla, weekly inside bar, looks like it's a double bottom. Actually, we lost it, just barely lost it, but not much follow through. And we could still see an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross, but we did negate the weekly bull flag. So since we lost the 0.382 fib there at 276, it's no longer a weekly bull flag, and it's now favoring a type of equilibrium where we could see a tightening range. On the bull and bear list, you have Bed Bath & Beyond. Terrible news about the executive there that took his own life. Wow. Terrible, terrible news. Obviously, stock getting hit because of that. Hive, GME. On the bear list, on the bull list, we have JSDA, FUBO, and EDR. So like I said, bought a ton of MJ today. HMMJ notably weak compared to MSOS. So the US American ETF that tracks all the American operators. HMMJ has been consolidating for the last 3 weeks, meaning we're losing the low of the previous week for the last 3 weeks in a row. MSOS is just starting to lose the low of last week, and we've been bouncing for the last couple of weeks. So obviously notably stronger and in a weekly uptrend with the low, high, higher low, and higher high. Now we're just looking for a higher low compared to key support there at 1096. As long as that support holds, we maintain the weekly uptrend. That's the most important support level going forward, and the most important resistance level to be watching is 1382. After 1382, we're targeting move up to EMA 26 there at 1478. But I added a ton of MJ today, so I added, what did I add today? I added a bit of Hexo, couldn't resist. And we saw that news today with Tilray and Hexo, or sorry, Tilray and Germany. And we'll just go here, take a quick look here. So scroll up, scroll up. So Tilray initiates roundtable with German regulators to kick off draft legislation to legalize. And again, if you guys don't know that the world is a stage yet, isn't it funny that Hexo and Tilray formed this bond and partnership and strategic alliance, and now essentially these two are working with governments, right? With the German government. And we'll scroll down here to Denise Faltischek, I think that's her name. So she's the Chief Strategy Officer and Head of International at Tilray Brands. And Hexo, as we know, is going to be sourcing all products from Tilray for international, minus the US and Canada. Do you see that the world is a stage yet? Did you also know that Denise Faltischek is also now a board member of Hexo, right? She's got to be good. She's on the board of Hexo, right? And she's working for Tilray, number 1 and number 2. So I don't know about you guys, but I have never been more excited for the future, and I'm really looking forward to everybody's reaction here over the next few months. I think the next 3 to 6 months in alt season and MJ land are going to really turn some heads. You guys are really going to be glad you stayed the course. WIB, TGOD, and ACB leading the decline today on the bull list. We have DB, LOVE, and NOVC. The American side of things, we've got Halo, Ian, and NBEV leading the decline today. Lots of red out there. BMM, doing not too bad. BAM, KGKG, and BEV. So BAM, yeah, BAM's like one of those names, right? I tell people all the time, like when the market's going down, BAM just decides to go up, right? It does its own thing. It's the weirdest mind of its own stock in MJ. But like I said, super excited for the future. The next few months are going to be insanely awesome in my opinion. But again, as I've been saying in the last couple of weeks, I said I was short-term bearish, medium-term bullish, and long-term bearish on the S&P 500. What happened? Short-term, we got destroyed, right? So I was right on the short-term. Medium-term, I think we're going to set a bottom here soon on the weekly. We're just looking for a weekly higher low compared to the support here at 371. So medium-term, I think we're going to see another move up in the markets. Maybe even come back and test all-time highs, maybe even go to new all-time highs over the next couple of months leading into the end of the year, but then ultimately into the beginning of next year, and potentially for the next 1 to 2 years, we could be heading to monthly oversold. And just like we did in the dot-com days, we peaked on the RSI in 96, and then in dot-com in 2000, that's when the price peaked. So 4 years later, then we went to monthly oversold. Same thing here, 2018, price peaked, and then 4 years later, the RSI peaked, and then 4 years later, in the everything bubble of 2022, not the dot-com bubble, but the everything bubble, 4 years later, we peaked on the price, and now we're potentially heading to monthly oversold. And it was about 750 days from the time the price peaked in the dot-com days. So if we go out about 750, lines up perfectly with this fractal that I took from the dot-com days as well. That would bring us to about February of 2024. So we're looking at about a year and a half potential. And I think it could be even worse, right? Because that was just the dot-com bubble. Everything's in a bubble this time around. And we know they've been printing money like crazy. That wasn't a factor before in the dot-com days. And we could still see an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross here on the monthly time frame. I think we're definitely going to be heading to low 200s on the S&P 500. I think we're going to be bearish for at least 1 to 2 years, maybe more. And I'm prepared for all scenarios. All right, going to end it there. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth. We'll see you guys in the next video. I might make this video public just because it was a very important update. Let me know your thoughts and comments. If I do decide to make this video public, let me know your thoughts and comments. Love reading what you guys have to say. And you guys and girls always have great insight. I know you're super smart. I really enjoy reading your comments. We'll continue the conversation there. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth. It's Rob with Power Group. We'll see you on the next video.